Hey guys, an announcement. My short film Spider premiered at the Motor City Nightmares Film Festival this past July and has a few screenings this September. On Friday the 13th, you can catch Spider in Birmingham, Michigan at the Royal Star Film Festival and in Kansas City for the Kansas City Underground Film Festival. Also, there will be three screenings of Spider the weekend of the 27th through the 29th. You'll be able to see Spider at the Hell's Half Mile Film and Music Festival in Bay City, Michigan, the Chicago Horror Film Festival in, you guessed it, the Windy City, and the Festival of Darkness at the historic Radford Theater in Detroit, Michigan. It is officially Spider September. Do you like monsters, gore, and behind the scenes look at your favorite horror films? Then be sure to check out Fangoria, one of the premier brands in horror. Fangoria has been delivering quality magazines since 1979. Each collectible issue features exclusive articles about your favorite monsters, as well as up-and-coming terrors. A Fangoria subscription gets you the ultimate horror experience. I'm talking 4 quarterly issues, each 100 pages with subscriber-exclusive covers. You will get early access to products and giveaways, gift codes, private community access, and more gruesome goodies. Be sure to check out the Fangoria store website for subscriptions and a bunch of cool merch. And while you're there, use promo code Would You Die Show for 20% off your entire order. That's right, 20% off your entire order. Applies to subscription and one-time orders, applies to the first subscription order only.
Death has come to your little town, Sheriff.
Have you ever felt a knife cut through human flesh and scrape the bone beneath?
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Be my victim.
You are all my children now.
Hello, my name is Austin Torres, and welcome to the Would You Die podcast, the show where we talk about our favorite horror monsters and villains. Today, I am joined by a filmmaker who does it all. She acts, she produces, and she is finishing up her directorial debut, Dark Circles, which I'm so excited to talk about. Horror genre fans are very familiar with her work, showing up in TV shows like Creepshow, The Vampire Diaries, and films like Siren, Wolf Hollow, St. Agatha, Trip, and VHS. Please welcome my guest, Hannah Fierman.
Hey, thank you for having me.
I am so excited to have you on. Thank you for doing this, and let's get into it.
Yeah,
You've been in a lot of horror movies. Is the horror genre something you enjoy watching?
it is. Yeah, it didn't used to be, but I think that the genre has broadened so much since I was little, and then ever since I started acting in horror, I've gotten more and more intrigued by it, and yeah, now I'm just a full-on horror fan, 100%.
That's awesome. I found that whenever I talk to actors, their responses to that question can vary because sometimes they're like, "Not really, but a job's a job," and I respect that. Do
Well,
you?
yeah,
Yeah.
and most things these days, if they're rated R or even not, have an element of horror in them anyway. Like
Yeah.
something horrific happens in order for it to be entertaining a lot of the time. And then you also have like Vampire Diaries or whatever that book series is with Kristen Stewart.
Oh, Twilight?
Yeah, stuff like that. It's just like, it's broadened so much now that anybody who says they're not a horror fan, they're probably wrong. There's probably an exception.
Yeah, I agree with that because I've seen people be like, I don't really like horror movies, but Jaws is my favorite movie of all time.
I was just about to say that. I was just about to say Jaws. Like, Jaws is the one that all people that don't like horror movies love. Yeah. Or
Yeah.
the Sixth Sense. Like
Yes.
those were incredibly popular. Yeah.
Do you have any like horror movies that you watched when you were younger that you probably shouldn't have watched that young?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I watched The Shining when I was tiny. And I think I was like, I don't know. We were in the old house, so I guess I was like maybe 5.
Oh wow, that's really young for The Shining.
Yeah, my dad's a huge horror fan, and yeah, I remember. Oh, and I remember watching. This is how old I am. I remember when I was really, really, really little, watching the show V with
Okay.
the the lizard people, the humanoid lizard people, and aliens, and they would like bite the heads off cute little white mice and tarantulas, and then their skin would peel off and shit. And I just remember running out of the room screaming, and my dad
That's fair.
like being like a little disappointed, you know, being like, "Oh, but I love this show. Don't you like it?" You know?
I feel that because my mom was a big horror fan, but she didn't really show me stuff other than like Jaws. Jaws was the except, but I remember she'll watch movies like Carrie and the Amityville Horror, and I would like sneak in and peek my head in, and she'd be like, "Austin, you don't want to watch this?" I'd be like, "Okay," and then I peek my head, and then I didn't want to watch it. And I'd be scared, and she's like, "I told you," but
Yeah, I still can't watch Carrie.
Carrie is scary. I'm proud that I did not mean for that to rhyme, but it is scary.
You know what? I watched the scariest movie I've ever seen, I think. And you might laugh at me, but it scared me, I think, more than any other movie the other day. Jeepers Creepers. Like, I
That
don't know.
movie, yeah.
Yeah, it was like the pacing or something, because the monster was kind of funny. He wasn't even that scary, but like it had something to do with the pacing, and oh, it was just so well done, and it just scared the crap out of me. I turned it off. I
Oh,
turned it
you
off.
did?
Yeah, and then revisited it the next day and finished the movie, but it got too late and I got too creeped out. And I was just like, wow, I did not expect Jeepers Creepers. You know, I figured The Exorcist because I just watched that for the first time this year.
Oh, you
And
did?
yeah, and I was just like, oh, okay. I mean, that's scary. Yeah, but
Yeah.
like I think that people have taken from that movie so much that I had already seen all of their tricks,
Right.
you know, before. So I was just like, you know, I mean, I'm sure I understand when people watched it in the theater for the first time. I mean, it would have just totally blown my socks off. But yeah, Jeepers Creepers is it for me. It's terrifying.
That's a good movie. It is scary. I don't remember it as well because I saw it, God, I would have probably been like high school last time I saw it.
Yeah.
So, I don't remember it as well. And for some reason, I feel like I always saw Jeepers Creepers 2 on TV. So that's the one I remember a lot better.
I still haven't seen that one yet.
I'd be interested to see what you if you think because I don't think people think that one's as scary as the first one, but I feel like that's the case with most sequels. It's hard to scare people when they've already seen it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. The lair under the old church. Oh, that got me. Oh, it was so gross. Oh no, yeah. Yeah. It was funny watching Justin Long. I had just worked with him a few years ago on Creepshow.
Oh, that's
And
awesome.
yeah, he was so young in it.
Yeah, that's one of his earlier movies, I think. Like it's before Dodgeball, I think.
I
I
still have dodgeball. Yeah. Probably though. I mean,
don't...
young. He looked like he was, I mean, well, he always looks young, but he looked like he was a kid, like a teenager or something.
Yeah, I mean, he looks great now, but he did look like a kid in that. So, but I have not seen that movie in forever. I don't rem I do remember it being creepy.
It was great. Yeah, they did a great job. Both actors were, the two leads were fantastic.
Is there a certain type of movie that scares you more than other types? And is Jeepers Creepers part of that type?
Yeah, so usually it's like the psychological horrors that scare me the most, and things that are based in reality scare me the
Mhm.
most. But that one was just its own thing, you know. It was. I'm telling you, I think it was the pacing, and
Yeah,
there was just no that anxiety. It was perfectly done, really well done movie.
that's awesome. I'll have to revisit it. So like psychological horrors, is that like Silence of the Lambs, those kind of movies?
Sure, that definitely would be one. Yeah, yeah, and to be completely honest, forensic stuff like
Mhm.
true crime crap like that, I find more terrifying than any kind of narrative that I know isn't real.
Yeah, 'cause like with true crime, that's that stuff happened.
I have to turn it off.
Yeah.
It'll haunt me forever.
I'm the same way. I'm the same way because like with a horror movie, I might get the heebie-jeebies, but I know it's people made it. It's storytelling, people's imaginations at work, but with true crime, that's a whole step beyond that, I think.
Yeah. There was one that kind of blurred the line that was a sci-fi horror movie that was about
Ooh.
aliens. That Mila Djokovic, how do you say her last name?
I
Mila
think it's I think you were
Djokovic,
right, Djokovic.
tennis player. Okay. Yeah, well, okay. So this isn't very old. It's just a few years old, and they make fake footage and pretend it's real and just lie to you and tell you it's real. And so the whole time I was watching this, I was absolutely terrified because I just didn't see these famous actors doing something like that, like just blatantly lying to their audience while going by their own name. And but they did. I looked it up afterward and discovered that it had all been taped and it wasn't based in any kind of reality. Like it was supposed to be set in Nome, Alaska, where people would disappear. But people disappear there all the time because they're
Yeah,
alcoholics and they to death. Like they're not being abducted. Anyway,
right.
that was an interesting scenario. I got pissed. I honestly got really, really annoyed after that movie because I was just like, wow, I feel lied to, I feel betrayed. What a complete waste of my time, and I'm never gonna watch another movie by that filmmaker.
I think I see was that the fourth kind? Is
Yeah, I think it was. It was the one with the
Yeah.
owl.
Yes.
It ruined owls for me too. Oh, fuck that movie.
I Poor owls.
Barn owls are beautiful, but now I'm like
Yeah,
all weirded out. Like, is it a
right.
movie?
That is a creepy movie. When that come out, like mid 2000s, I think.
I think you're right, like 2014 or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I gotta rewatch that. I gotta rewatch Jeepers Creepers. A lot of stuff to rewatch now. But that's interesting you bring that up because I find found and we were talking about true crime, found footage movies. I feel like sometimes they can access something, and the type of movies that scare me generally are like demon movies. So like The Exorcist, Paranormal Activity, Insidious, Conjuring, all those go like mean ghosty movies tend to scare me anyways. But I don't know, I think there's something about the reality of like a found footage movie, like to bring it to another alien movie, M. Night Shyamalan Signs, that one shot where the alien walks through in like the camcorder at the birthday party. That's the scariest shot in the whole movie. It's like the one found footage shot in it.
Yeah, I had forgotten about that. Yeah, they're definitely scary. That they're it's just because they look so real.
With found footage movies, I think you're right. They look real, they feel real, even when it's like paranormal activity and the ghost is not real. It's like it just blends reality in a way that other movies don't, or maybe we're accustomed to other movies.
Because of the shaky cam and, if static is involved at all, anything is a cutting point. And
Yeah.
they tend to be more seamless. Like you can sneak stuff in there that looks real, you believe it, and then all of a sudden, like with VHS, the demon flies throws the guy across the room and flies through the air, and it's just like, wait a minute, there was no cut there. I was
Right.
watching it with my stunt double, and I was just like, is that you or is that me? And she's like, I don't know. And I was like, I think it's you because I can't do that, so it
Yeah.
was yeah, it was yeah, really, really clever filmmaking.
Speaking of filmmaking, your film Dark Circles is going to come out soon, and I'm really excited to see it. I just love talking about two filmmakers about making films. What are some of the films that inspired you to make Dark Circles?
Stir of Echoes was one that I rewatched before I started filming. before I even started making a shot list. I watched that, and it's because my movie is about Martin Malone, the Peeping Tom, that the series of events happen to. And so you go through the movie from his perspective. Sometimes it's POV, sometimes it's not. But everything is, you're experiencing what he experiences throughout the entire film, even if it's in a hallucination, a dream, or if it's reality. So I felt like Stir of Echoes had done that really well. And I saw that in the theater, actually. It was around the same time as Sixth Sense came out, but look, really good movies that year. Anyway, so that was one that I drew a lot from. They're vastly different characters, so it's not exactly the same. The story is completely different, but yeah, there's a lot of similarities there that I tried to utilize. And I also watched Suspiria, and I'm not going to tell you why. You'll just have to watch. You'll just have to watch the movie, and then be like, oh, you know.
So I'm glad you're talking about the original Suspiria, right? Because they're both good movies. And I don't want to ever make an assumption, but the original Suspiria I will never watch because it scares me too much.
Why?
It's not a long story. It's like a medium-sized story. Okay, I'll tell it. So what happened was, did you ever watch what's it called? Bravo's 100 Scariest Movie Moments? It was like this TV special on Bravo. It was like 3 or 4 hours. It played on Halloween, and it just counted down 100 scary movie moments for. It had everything from 28 Days Later to Hellraiser to Jaws and Alien and Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and it had some odd picks like. I think the Terminator was in it, The Wizard of Oz was in it, Jurassic Park, and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. But it was this formative show for me because I saw it when I was 10 and I had not seen a lot of images before that. So it's like the first time I saw the American and Werewolf in London transformation. It was the first time I saw Candyman. And like just it blew my mind and gave me nightmares. But they picked Suspiria as one of their picks. And I had never seen anything so vivid and it looked like a nightmare, but like a
Yeah,
beautiful dream.
like a
Like,
fever. Yeah.
yes, and it freaked me out so bad. The blood was so vivid, and
Yeah.
maybe it's not. Maybe it's my 10-year-old memory.
Oh, it is. It is. It's unnaturally red. But for me, that made it less real. So it made it more like a play to me. But I watched it, just like 4 years ago or 3.5 years ago, So you watched it when
Yeah,
you were 10, and you're like, for all you knew, that's what blood looked like. And yeah, absolutely. It's spooky. It's the mood, it's the feeling that it creates within you. Movies from the 70s in particular. When was Suspiria filmed? Was that the 60s,
I
I
think it was the
think?
70s, and I know it's Dario Argento,
Yeah.
um, Italian. I really think it was the 70s.
Okay, probably because all of the scariest movies are from the 70s, really.
Yeah,
They all have a strange color. They all have a strange like pace. Like not
yeah,
just pacing within the movie, but like the actual film is a little bit jittery. It's just all of that together is just like it's feverish. It's in many ways it nauseates me a little bit, like all the use of the tans and the yellows and the
yeah,
orange and that kind of thing, which not Suspiria, but like a lot of other horror movies from the 70s is, yeah, they're spooky. They scared the crap out of me
yeah.
when I was little. Yeah.
I love 70s horror so much. I think most of my favorite horror movies are from the 70s because like I'm a big creature feature and monster movie guy, so Alien's my favorite scary movie. I love Jaws and those are 70s movies. But like you were saying like the yellows and the oranges, I'm thinking like, oh, that's Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That's like a 70s movie that it feels so grimy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah. Alien was from the 70s?
Yeah.
The original? The first one?
It came out in 79. So
Oh, well, it's almost the 80s.
it's almost the 80s, right?
That's crazy. I would have put that. Oh, wow. I would have totally put that in the wrong decade. I might have even said 90s. Wow, it's so ahead of its time.
It is. But I could talk about Alien all day. If I had an Alien podcast, I can make that I can make that go, but I want to talk all horror. If you get me started on Alien, we won't stop.
Okay.
But so Stir of Echoes, Suspiria, those are some great movies to be inspired by for Dark Circles.
Thank you. Yeah, I was just I had somebody suggest that I watch The Tenet.
Oh,
Um
I've never seen it.
yeah, yeah. Well, it's not something I guess most people say go watch because it's a Polanski movie. Um
Oh, gotcha.
yeah, but yeah, I watched it. It's okay, it's scary, but it is also hilarious. Like I don't think I was supposed to be laughing, but the end, once you watch it, I, oh my God, I was cracking up the whole ending. It was just so fun. Okay, just watch it. Just watch it,
Okay,
and
I'll watch it.
then DM me back and be like, Hannah, that wasn't funny. You're messed up, or or just yeah, let me know. Yeah, so I watched that one too.
Oh, that's awesome. I'll have to check that out for sure because the only film I've seen of his is Rosemary's Baby, but everyone knows that's a good movie.
Everybody's seen that one. Yeah, I didn't even know
Yeah,
that was. I saw that back when I was in high school. That one didn't scare me either. I guess his style just isn't as lost on me.
I guess. Something I'm really interested in asking about, you you've acted in a bunch of movies. You go on your IMDb and you can scroll and scroll, and I think that's awesome. But now that you're in the director's chair working with your cast, how has your acting experience like helped you in your directorial debut?
Absolutely, it has. Yeah, I don't see how it couldn't.
That's fair.
Yeah, I do whatever I like I liked when other directors did to me. But honestly, with Dark Circles and with the other movie I directed, Dead by Midnight Y2K, I directed and wrote along with my ex-husband Josh Wilcox the first segment of that anthology. And I cast people that I knew fully understood the character, probably even better than I did. So I didn't have to do a whole lot of adjustment. Most of it was, them not if they didn't hit their mark, or if they didn't scream,
Yeah.
quite enough to where I believed that they were actually, having their eyeballs ripped out or whatever. So but yeah. Yeah, and just like your hair's in your face, get it out of your face. You just put it back in your face, get it out of your face. Yeah, that was me directing. Basically, cast really good actors.
Fair, fair enough. I think with directing, when you have like such a great team around you, it's just like it makes you look good. You know what I mean? It makes the job really easy.
Makes it easier. Yeah. Yeah. I can trust them. They can trust me. We've worked together
Yeah,
before. It's all good. Yeah.
I love that. The movie topic you picked for today, your favorite monster, you picked the film Spasms, which I had never heard of before before talking to you. So I watched it and holy shit, it rules.
Thank you. Yeah. I can't, I mean, I want to remake it. I want to remake it, but with a new ending, a different ending. And I'm really starting to simmer on that idea. I already got it cast in my mind's eye. And so what I loved about that movie is it had everything. It had like, cannibals and cult leaders and elements of the occult and love interests and weird, dynamics between people that you don't really know what their relationship is, and a big mysterious monster and the POV of the monster. And it just,
Yeah.
Oliver Reed is in it, and he plays this very eccentric doctor slash I guess some sort of like an anthropologist type. Anyway, it was so good. I loved it. It had Peter Fonda, which
Yeah.
I didn't realize I was a Peter Fonda fan until I saw this movie. And he's so handsome. And then the end, I was just like, oh no, 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 no. That's not the ending. What happened to the cults? What happened to the
Right.
the the cult leader? What happened to all these other things that they completely left out at the end? And I looked it up, and it turns out that they lost funding and weren't able to finish it properly. So I'm just like, this movie needs to get finished. It needs the ending it deserved, because it was so good up until that point. Like, really, I was so pumped. I was like, oh, this is going to be my favorite movie. And then it just went. And so, yeah, I mean, that one's just been stewing around in my brain for a long time. And I think it might be my favorite monster, because I just, I'm not going to tell you what it is. Did you already say what it is?
I don't think I did. And if
Yeah.
I did, I'll edit it out.
I don't think you said it anyway, but I liked not knowing. I liked the reveal, and yeah, it's really cool.
I think it's really funny because like I said earlier, I'm a huge fan of monster movies. And when we were talking, you didn't spoil what the monster was for me. You just said, "Oh, just in case I hadn't seen it." And you were right, I hadn't seen it. So when I saw what the monster was, I was so happy because I love that kind of creature
Yeah,
in
me too.
movies
Yeah,
with that kind. And it made me so happy. And it was violent. I was a little surprised with how violent it was.
beautifully violent, really well done. Like when it attacks that girl in the hallway, and she's just flying around like in Jaws.
Yeah.
It's like straight out of Jaws, except it's not in the water and it's not a shark. Um,
Right.
yeah, yeah, I loved that. I thought it was just so well done. Yeah, the POV. Yeah, that was
And
great.
it has like that blue tint to it to let you know.
Does it? I can't remember. Yeah, yeah. I'll rewatch it again any day.
Yes, and I'd be so excited to see your version of it.
We'll see. I was thinking like maybe Matt Berry for Oliver Reed's character.
Oh, that'd be
I,
great.
I think he could kill it. And yeah, I got some ideas for the other characters too.
I mean, we got to manifest it. We got to will this into the universe.
Do it. Let's do it. Because I'm almost done with my movie Dark Circles is about to be out. We have all the
Yes.
elements. I'm just waiting to get my color from the colorist and give it to my editor, and just have everything just needs to come together. We need to get out a screener and market it, but it's done. It's a miracle, because I've been working on this for a very long time. After I've got that one out for the world to see, I need something else to tinker on.
I feel like we already know what it is.
I'm glad you like the idea.
I'm 100% on board. If there's anything, not that I have, a lot of money or power, but if there's anything I can do, you message me. I'm there. I'll
Cool.
spread the word.
Right on.
So I'm so excited for Dark Circles, and I don't want to get too ahead of ourselves, but I'm very excited for your version of Spasms.
You're like, it's already gonna happen. It's happening in your head. Like, okay, yeah, thanks.
I know it is. I know it. I'm whatever I can do. Let me know, because I want to see it so bad. We're making it a reality.
Yeah. Thanks for the vote of confidence.
Of course, I got you. I got you. And I'm so excited for Dark Circles as well, because you know, when people I just feel like it's clear that you love and or at least respect the horror genre.
Oh, I love it now.
And
Yeah, absolutely.
and you could tell when that love comes through in someone's film, and that always excites me.
I think you're gonna like it. I really do. There's a lot of fun stuff in it. I'd say it was more like a psychological horror thriller.
Ooh, that's gonna be awesome.
To me personally, it's a full-on dark comedy, but just because I've seen it so many times, and I know
Fair.
what happens behind the scenes, and I've seen it so many times that at this point people are like, so is it good? And I was just like, I can't tell anymore because I've seen it so many times and so many different versions. Like, I don't know, you tell me, is it good? But luckily everybody who's seen it loves it. And I have a lot of amazing actors. I got are you familiar with Damien Maffei's work up until this point at all?
No, I'm not.
Okay, he's very talented. I met him back in 2007, and online I met him in 2004. And we've been trying to work together all the way up until 2020 when we finally did get to work together very briefly. And just because we just really respect each other's work. And so he is exceptionally good in this movie. He plays Martin Malone, the lead character, the peeping Tom that events happen to. I have Terry Kaiser's in it from Weekend at Bernie's and a lot of
Yes.
stuff, and he's spectacular. And Felissa Rose is in it, and Kate Kiddo. She's my ingenue. She's new. Yeah, well, those are the major players.
I can't wait. I can't wait. The more we talk about it, the more excited I get. I'm like, I haven't like I get impatient sometimes, but I promise.
So do I. I've been waiting on this movie freaking ever. I can't even remember what year it was when we started filming it.
Oh wow.
I think it was 2021. I might be, no, it was 2022. I don't know. I'm really bad at telling time. This was like, this started 5 million years ago, but it really hasn't been that long. It's just been a really tedious process because we've done everything with almost no budget, especially post.
Mm.
There was no money for posts. So it's been, waiting on people to do things for free, which takes time. Of course it does,
Right, because they gotta do the paid stuff first.
They
Because
got
they
the
gotta
list.
eat.
So
Yeah.
yeah. So it's been extremely tedious, but I found some really talented people, and I'm super stoked. I produced this movie called Bunker Heights, which is just now in post-production. And these investors found me online. And at first I was just like, oh, I don't really know you guys. So no, I don't know, I don't have a project right now for you to fund anyway. And they're like, come on, and they're like, well, we'll fly down there to meet you, and blah, blah, blah. And so finally I got the script from Drew Fortier, and he directed Dwellers, and he's a really talented musician as well. Anyway, he gave me the script, and I was like, okay, Drew, this is a really fun script, but I make indie movies. That this thing has like trains and I don't know, helicopters or whatever. And I'm just like, go back, rewrite it with an ultra low budget in mind and give it back to me. And so he did. And I was just like, we got a movie here. We got a movie I could do. And so I contacted these producers, and they're with this group called Autodidactic, and they are so talented. These guys, they did post sound design for Dark Circles. They funded Bunker Heights. They're my executive producers, Bunker Heights. They flew from Oslo and Tokyo to come and just hang out on set. I had them holding scrims and like doing all these odd jobs, and they were just so enthusiastic and so cool. They've done they did all the VFX for Dark Circles. Yeah, they're just so cool. They're so amazing. They're just like angels that fell into my lap at just the right time, and I'm so grateful for them. So Autodidactic guys, they do video games, they make music themselves. They're like famous on YouTube. Really
They do it
cool.
all.
They're so cool. I know. And they're like, Hannah, give us a voiceover reel so we can put you in a video game. And I'm like, okay, and then I still haven't done it, but I've been so busy. But I really
That's
do
fair.
need, because it's so much fun. I love doing voiceover work, especially for a video game. How fun would that be? So I
That's
gotta
so
get.
cool.
Yeah, they're neat. So I gotta brag on them for a second. I couldn't have done it without them. Not either movie.
That's incredible. I love that so much. And it's just it warms my heart when cool people help cool people.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, thank you for choosing me, guys. This is amazing.
I myself am a filmmaker. I just completed my third short film, so I'm much earlier in my journey, but getting to talk to people who like you are doing it, and it's so inspiring.
Send it to me. I want to see.
Oh, hell yeah, I will. The one I just completed, it's doing the festivals right now. It's called Spider. I think you would actually really like it because there's some similar shots to Spasms, in it,
Okay.
which is really funny because I just watched Spasms today.
Yeah.
So it
Yes.
was, yeah,
You weren't ripping him off at all. It just was in your subconscious from maybe Jaws, maybe? I don't know. That's cool.
Jaws, The Evil Dead, I was thinking of. That was
Okay.
like, I'm a big Evil Dead fan because I went to Michigan State and Sam Raimi went to Michigan State. So we're,
Oh,
I'm always like,
oh, right.
Evil
You're
Dead.
right. Okay. Right.
So, but oh my goodness, I will send that to you, and I'm so excited to see Dark Circles. I literally cannot wait. And then, like I said, I'm very excited for your version of Spaz. It's happening.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So you're in Detroit. Do you
Yeah.
know the band Sponge with
N-
Dombrowski? Do you
n-
do you know
no.
do you know the Insane Clown Posse?
Yes.
They're from there. Okay, both of those guys are in Bunker Heights. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, they're so cool. It was just so crazy. We're just like, hey, maybe just ask them, see if they want to be in it. And they were like, hell yeah. So yeah,
That's
we want to start them.
that's incredible. It's such a small world.
Yeah, it was Violent J. Violent J was one of our characters in Bunker Heights. You'll probably get a kick out of that one too. That's like a crime creature comedy is the tagline, and it's got a teaser trailer out, so you can check that out. But it's it's probably gonna be next year when we're done with it. Yeah.
I'm gonna check out that teaser trailer immediately. Crime creature comedy. First off, I love alliteration. Three C's. It's perfect. Creature is like my favorite things ever. So,
Check it out.
oh, so
Yeah. I
yes,
think you're
I
gonna like.
oh I will for sure. I'm so excited, and for everyone listening, y'all have a lot to check out. Dark Circles coming soon. Bunker Heights sometime next year. Spasms, which came out in the 80s. 83, I think it came out.
I think you're right.
Peter Fonda, Oliver Reed. Everyone listening to this has homework.
Fun homework though.
Yeah, it's the best kind of homework, but it
Yeah.
is homework. And I do gotta ask because it is the title of the show. If you were in the movie Spasms, I don't know if you want to be like standing in for Peter Fonda or Oliver Reed. I don't know, or if you just want to be Hannah Fierman in the world of Spasms. I don't want
I
to
would.
describe the creature though.
So you want to know if I would live?
Yeah, would you survive that movie?
No, not a chance. No chance in hell. I would probably be that like country guy that gets mauled in his car or his truck or whatever. I think I'd be that guy.
I love it. Oh, but you make it pretty far in the movie.
Yeah, I love that character. Okay, would you die?
Oh, definitely, definitely. And much earlier too. I would probably be like when the creature first escapes and it's in like that lab
Okay.
area. I think that's where I would go down. That's my rap.
I
That's
totally, yeah, lab coat. Uh-huh. Yeah, you're right. I love that casting. I thought maybe you were gonna be like, I'd be like a tribes person. I'd be taken out in the first 3 seconds.
you know what? You know what? That might be more realistic, honestly.
I love that scene so much. It's just so far out. Yeah,
That's when I knew. I was like, oh, this movie is a banger.
here we go. Yeah, same. I don't know. It's just like when they start out that way, you're like, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I almost forgot to ask. How did you find this movie? Because I've never heard of it.
Um, Gosh, how did we find it? Drew Fortier found it. He's trying to educate me on older movies, and that was one. And I don't know. Do you know who reprinted it? Like, was it Kino Lorber or Vinegar Syndrome? I think it was Vinegar Syndrome.
Okay.
Anyway, so I don't know. We just like, we get a lot of movies just for funsies, don't even know anything about it. And yeah, he found that one. And I'm a big fan of Kino Lorber because my good friend Brett Wood is the vice president, and he directed the film The Unwanted, which I starred in back in 2014. So I was getting all these movies from his catalog, and just telling him what I thought of each one, and he's like, you know what, go pick out whichever ones you want, just go crazy and tell me which ones you want and I'll send them to you. And I was just like, that's correct. So yeah, so we got a little greedy. I got way too much, but we're just plowing through them. But yeah, that's just kind of how we're rolling here. Just like check me out super old movies, and just yeah, some of them are so good. It's just, yeah, you just learn a lot. You learn a lot that way, and it's fun.
I love that because when I went to Michigan State, my degree was more in like the film studies, and I just love diving into older films. It's funny because like my brain, even I was born in 94, but my brain's like, old movies are the 40s and the 50s. 70s aren't old. 80s aren't old. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
I don't know why we think that way. Huh.
because like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre turns 50 this year. A Nightmare on Elm Street turns 40 this year. Like,
Whoa. Well, I think it's because they're so timeless. They're so well
yeah,
done, and if we didn't have so much CGI and VFX, like they could be modern, really.
really, yeah.
Practical effects and special effects makeup really hasn't. I think it might have devolved, honestly, because you see some of those older zombie movies or older aging makeup, and then you see it now and it looks not nearly as good, and it's just like, what are you doing different? Are you not putting lead in it? Is that why? Like now we know it poisons people. Like what secret did they have back in the day to make it look so real, especially aging makeup, when you character
Yeah.
gets older, which is something I would really like to know.
We're gonna have to figure that out. Because I know there's still great work happening nowadays, but you're right. It's like just in the general, why does Alien look like it could be released today? But whatever movie, insert movie here, released today, looks like it probably shouldn't have been released today. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, I do. I guess it's each individual, the intention of the filmmaker, or maybe it's because they simply didn't have funding and wanted to do it anyway. I don't know.
And then I do think sometimes like a lot of movies now feel rushed. Like we have to hit this release date. I mean, can we get 800 visual effects shots in 3 weeks? And it's like,
Absolutely. Yeah, I think people have been doing that since the 2000s, early 2000s. Yeah, because you can tell. You're just like, oh
yeah,
yeah, that that was rushed. I wonder, how much they cut out of that character development, because these two people should not be in love right now, but okay, I guess they are. Um,
yeah,
yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
something to think about. I'll have to do my research.
Or maybe, artists just, they can just keep tinkering with it forever, and their
True.
producers are eventually just like, no, I'm putting my foot down, you know?
Like the movie has to come out at some point.
Yeah. Yeah. Let the
So,
pig cry. Yeah, totally.
honestly, it's probably just case by case basis. Like every movie's different. Every film has its own inception and journey. And I'm sure you know this. You've worked on a
Yeah,
bunch.
yeah.
I love this. I could keep going, but you're busy. So I don't want to I don't want to be that guy. Thank you so much for being on the show today. I had such a great time, and like I said, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Thank you so much. This has been super fun.
And I just want to tell the listeners once again, Dark Circles, check it out. It's coming out soon. And I'll share like the posters and the trailer and stuff when all that's out.
Thank you. Yeah, that'd be
Of
great.
course. So And then the Spasms remake coming out sometime in the future.
Yeah.
Where can people find you and information about Dark Circles? Yeah.
Okay. Dark Circles movie. It is on Instagram and Facebook and X, I believe, and probably on other ones that I'm not on. And then you can find me. I'm hannahfearman.com, and I Instagram more than I do anything else. I'm on Facebook a little bit. Everything's under Hannah Fearman except for X, which is Hannah Rose Firm. But I never post anything on there anyway. So yeah. Basically, I think Instagram, Facebook is probably your best bet, or my website, which kind of funnels everything for my social media anyway. So yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited for your work coming out. And we talked a bunch about Dark Circles and Bunkering Heights.
Bunker.
Bunker, I'm so sorry.
That's okay. It's a weird name.
Bunker Heights. Are there any other projects you want to tell people about?
Oh yeah. I finished this movie not that long ago in Seattle called Demonatrix, and they're about to release the trailer, and I'm so excited. I haven't seen it yet, and I think that's going to be a really good movie. It's got Aurelio Voltaire. He plays the father character, the priest. Jeff Farrell is the director, along with Aurelio, and it's got Doug Bradley's in it, and Ogre from Skinny Puppy, the lead guy from Skinny Puppy, is in it, and he plays the demon, and a bunch of really talented folks. I think those are the names that you are most likely to know. And yeah, so that one I am super stoked about. Excellent scripts, really, really cool people, wonderful filmmakers, very fast editors. So that should be coming out soon. And the movie The Trip that I did a few years ago, or maybe it was last year before last, out in Pittsburgh, that I believe has been released, I think today. I think it was released.
Nice.
Yeah, I might be mistaken, but I think they said, what is today? Is it today the 26th?
Yes, today's the 26th.
I think it releases today, or yeah. Anyway, The Trip, and it is a very trippy movie. It is, kind of just like a visual fever dream. And that also has Doug Bradley in it. Yeah, me and Doug, man. And
it sounds like you guys are besties.
Really, besties. Doug. Oh my gosh, I wish. He's great. He's a really cool guy. He probably doesn't even remember me.
Oh, don't say that.
Oh yeah. Strangers or whatever. Yeah, so those are the things that other people have directed and produced that I am very excited about, and I hope you guys enjoy that.
That's awesome. So yes, everyone, a lot to keep your eyes out for. And once again, thank you so much for being on the show. It means the world to me. I had so much fun.
Yeah, ditto. Thanks for having me. Let's chat again.
Thank you for listening to today's episode. Thank you, Hannah, for joining me today and for introducing me to the glory that is Spasms. If you are a fan of creature features, 80s horror, or both, you definitely need to check this one out. And of course, check out everything Hannah is doing. She is killing it, and there are so many of her projects that you need to keep your eye on. If you like this show or my other horror endeavors, then I recommend subscribing to my Patreon. I retooled it so it is only $3 a month, and you'll get exclusive content, movie reviews, and extended episodes while supporting my art and content directly. If you haven't already, subscribe to the Would You Die YouTube channel. There you can find video versions of the podcast episode, my short film Ice Cream, the trailer for Spider, and more to come. If you like this show, please let me know. Leave a review and rate on Spotify or Apple or wherever you listen to this show. Also, feel free to interact with me on social media: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, wherever you're most comfortable. It may not seem like a lot, but trust me, every single like, share, comment, and follow, it all helps this podcast to grow and helps keep me going. And feel free to let me know how I'm doing. What do you guys like about the show? Areas I can improve? Guests you'd like me to have on? Monsters you want me to talk about? Let me know what you guys think. You can find the show's social media on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Would You Die Show. Also, now you can follow me on TikTok at Would You Die Podcast. Would You Die is a partner with the Three Wise Men Media, a Metro Detroit-based group of awesome guys, Kyle, Tyler, and Dylan, where they bring you professional wrestling, indie comic books, and so much more. The music you hear in the beginning and end of each episode is composed by my friend Josie Palmer. Next week, we're taking a trip down the Yellow Brick Road to discuss a children's film that is far scarier than a children's film should be. Until next time, I'm Austin Torres. Try not to die.